We've all got this hidden program running in our brains, right? An autopilot that kind of takes the controls without us even realizing it. Well, today, we're going to learn how to grab the flight manual and really master that thing.
I mean, you ever just snap at someone for basically no reason? Or find yourself spiraling with worry over something really small? It feels like you're just a passenger in your own head. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, stick around. We're about to find the driver's seat.
So here's the truth. We all have these emotional default settings. It's just part of our brain's basic wiring. But, and this is the important part, the good news is you are not stuck with them. You absolutely have the ability to grab the controls and consciously fly your own mind.
Okay, so where does this automatic response even come from? Well, it turns out it all starts with this brilliant, but maybe slightly outdated piece of programming, our brain's ancient survival mechanism. Now, this response was perfect for our ancestors if they ran into a saber-toothed tiger. Your body gets flooded with adrenaline, your heart races, your breathing gets faster, all to get you ready to either fight for your life or run like crazy. The problem is, in our modern world, the system often gets triggered by a false alarm, like an anxious thought, something as simple as, I can't cope.
And when that false alarm keeps ringing, it doesn't just, go away. It can actually trap us in this powerful negative feedback loop, a vicious cycle of stress. Let's take a look at how that actually works. This model comes straight from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which is this really well-researched and super effective way to understand our minds. And it's a fantastic visual for seeing how our thoughts, our emotions, our physical feelings, and our actions are all connected. You can see how they spin together, creating a cycle that can feel impossible to break. So let's follow it, starting with just a single thought. So it all kicks off with one thought: I can't cope. That thought immediately triggers emotions like anxiety and stress. And those emotions, they cause very real physical symptoms. Your heart starts pounding, your breathing gets shallow. So what do? Well, you might stay late at work to try and catch up, or maybe you start avoiding friends, and that behavior just reinforces the original thought. See, I knew it. I really can't cope. And just like that, the cycle starts all over again, and it usually gets a little bit stronger each time.
I know. Breaking this cycle can feel totally impossible, but I promise you, it's not. It really all starts with awareness and just having the right tools in your mental toolkit. So, let's look at 3 simple but really powerful models you can start using today.
Okay, our first tool is the stress bucket. I love this one because it's such a perfect visual for our capacity for stress. Just imagine all the pressures of your day, work, family, money, all of it is like water constantly pouring into this bucket.
Now, there are 3 tabs to manage here. The tab at the top, that's all your stressors, work, bills, you name it, just pouring in. That little middle tab, that's for the unhelpful ways we try to cope, like having an extra drink or just avoiding our problems, which basically just pours the stress right back into the bucket. And the tab at the bottom, that's the good stuff. That's for helpful coping strategies, like exercise or talking to a friend, that actually let the stress flow out. The whole game is to keep that bucket from overflowing. Next up, we have another great visual, the balance stool. The idea here is super simple. For your life to feel stable, just like this stool, it needs 3 strong, equal legs holding it up. So what are these legs? Well, you got your routine activities, like showering. You've got your necessary ones, like paying bills. And then you have pleasurable activities, things you do just for fun. Now here's the key. When we get stressed, what's the very first thing we drop? Yep, the fun stuff. We cut out the pleasure leg, our stool gets super wobbly, and that instability just feeds right back into the stress cycle. Keeping that balance is absolutely crucial.
All right, for our final tool, we're going to get a little more strategic. Remember that vicious cycle we talked about? We're going right back to the source, that initial thought, and we're going to learn how to dismantle it before it even gets going.
Okay, this is a total game changer. Your thoughts are not facts. Say it again. Thoughts are not facts. They are just your brain's interpretation of a situation. And once you really, truly get that, you get the power to question them. So let's look at 4 common thinking traps our minds fall into, and more importantly, how to get out of them.
First up is catastrophizing. Oh yeah, you know this one. This is when your mind just jumps to the absolute worst-case scenario. A tiny mistake at work means you're definitely getting fired. The antidote? You just have to step back and ask yourself, okay, but what's a more likely outcome here?
Then we have all or nothing thinking. This is where everything is either black or white. You're either a complete success or you're a total failure.
If you spot yourself doing this, the antidote is to go looking for the shades of gray. Ask yourself, is it possible there's a middle ground here, a gray area?
And then, oh boy, mind reading. This is when you assume you know exactly what someone else is thinking about you. And it's never good, right? You're sure they think you're an idiot. The way to challenge this is to ask, wait, is it possible I'm just making an assumption? Because let's be real, you can't actually read minds.
And finally, the critical self-trap. This is where you become your own harshest critic, just blaming yourself for everything. The antidote for this one is so powerful. You just flip the script and ask, what advice would I give to a friend if they were in this exact situation? You will be amazed at how much kinder and more helpful you are to a friend than you are to yourself.
So let's do a quick recap of your new toolkit. You've got the stress bucket to help you manage your load. You've got the balance stool to keep you stable, and you've got skills to spot thinking traps so you can rewrite the script in your head. Honestly, just knowing these frameworks exist is the first giant step toward taking back the controls.
Look, that mental autopilot has probably been running the show for a long time. But now you have the manual. You have the tools to navigate your own mind and to finally break that cycle. So, the only question left is, which one are you going to pick up and use first?